Welcome again to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. In this mathematics class, we'll be learning quadratic equation, but it will be a continuation of what we've learned in our last class. Here, we are going to be looking at the sum and product of roots of quadratic equation. So feel relaxed, let's learn together.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
So, sum and product of roots of quadratic equations. In our last class, we've learned what the roots of quadratic equation is or are. So, this is just simple. By the end of this class, you should be able to write quadratic equation for any given roots. That is what we are focusing on. Remember, quadratic equation is that polynomial equation of one variable in which the highest power of the variable is 2, or we say degree 2 polynomial. So given any equation, the general quadratic equation such as this, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So if we take the roots of this equation to be alpha and beta, then we can say the sum of these roots give us what we have here, and the product of that root is what we have as c over a. So sum of the roots of any given quadratic equation is what gives the negative of b to a, while the product is what gives the ratio of c to a, which we have here. So this is a quadratic equation of x squared minus the root, the sum of the roots, plus the product of the root. That's what we have here. So knowing this, if you are given the roots, you can use that to form an equation. And that is what we have done here. So look at this before we move on to using it. X squared minus the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots equals 0. Here we have this. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are given as this, which is -3 and 4. That's the roots of this equation, -3 and 4. So let's look at this. For this number 1, we can say our alpha equals -3 and the beta equals 4. Let's not forget that the sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta, will be equals to 4 plus -3. That gives us 4 minus 3, and that gives us 1. That is the sum of the roots. Then product of the roots, alpha and beta. Product, which is -3 multiplied by 4, that gives us -12. Now that we know this, we have gotten the sum, we have gotten the product. Let's now bring it into a quadratic equation of the general form that says x squared minus the sum, that is 1. So 1 times x, 1x, we write that as x. Then the next thing will be plus -12 is our product. -12 equals 0. Hence, the quadratic equation that has this root will be x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. So, if you use the knowledge of the last class, if you solve this quadratic equation, you are expected to get this as the root. Isn't that interesting? Good. Okay. This looks like what we've done here. So I want you to take a look at that. Solve it on your own. Then I will take C because it's fraction. Let's look at how we solve it when it involves fraction. Just the same way as this. So for this part, which is fraction, our alpha equals -2/3 and beta equals -1/4. Remember, we need the sum and the product of the roots. So for the sum, alpha plus beta will be equals to -2 divided by 3 plus open bracket -1/4. This becomes -2/3 minus 1/4. So we find the LCM of this, which is 12. 3 goes here, 4. 4 multiplied by -2, that's -8. Minus 4 goes here, 3 multiplied by 1, 3. So we have -11/12. That is for the sum. Then product, alpha beta equals -2/3 being multiplied by -1/4. So this gives us minus times minus plus. So alpha beta will be equals to 2/12, which alpha beta can be written as 1/6. Now that we know this, let's now bring it into forming the quadratic equation. So to do that, remember the quadratic equation says x squared, that's the variable, minus then the sum of this. Since this is minus 11/12 minus, close it, x, plus the product, that's plus 1/6 equals 0. So it becomes x squared plus 11/12x plus 1/6 equals 0. So look at the denominators. It's 12, 6. What is the LCM of 12 and 6? The LCM will be 12. Now, let's multiply the LCM of 12 and 6 through by all the terms. It becomes 12 multiplied by x squared, that's 12x squared. When we multiply 12 by this, we have 11x plus, when you multiply 12 by this, that's 12 times 1, 12, divided by 6, that will be 2, equals 0. Now we have the quadratic equation whose root is this. Interesting. All right. So I want you to try out some questions on your own. Practice question. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are given as this and this. I will leave you to do that for a few minutes. All right. Now we have been given this to work on. I want to believe that you've tried it out. You've done something fantastic for yourself. So quickly, we'll rub through it, and I'll probably introduce you to another quick way of handling it. For this part, A, where we have this, let this be our alpha, this be our beta. So we can say from this, we are dealing with the first one, alpha plus beta equals, let's add this together, that's minus 3 plus 5. That will give us 2. Then alpha, beta, that's the product. When you multiply this, minus 15. Now that we have this, we can now put it in a quadratic equation where we say x squared minus the sum of the roots. That will be 2x plus the product of the roots equals 0. So it becomes x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Isn't that interesting? Yes, it is. Well, if you find that too confusing, another short way of handling that is that remember that whenever you solve quadratic equation using factorization method or quadratic formula, you always say x is equals to this or this. So let's pick it from there. We reverse the process. X is equals to minus 3 or x is equals to 5, right? Let's start from there. X equals minus 3 or 5. Let's take it backward. That will be x equals minus 3 or x equals 5, right? So take this one, we have x plus 3 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. Then we say x plus 3 x plus 3 x plus 3, take that, multiply with x minus 5, set it all to be equals to 0, then say x multiplied by x, that's x squared, minus 5x, multiply this with this, plus 3x, multiply this with this, that's minus 15 equals 0. So it becomes x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Maths. So this and this are the same. I'm very sure you may want to find your interest in this second method. No problem. So let's now use this second method for this. Then we say x equals 1 over 3 or minus 2 over 3, right? We are looking forward to getting an equation that holds these roots. So here we say x equals 1 over 3 or x equals minus 2 over 3. Multiply this cross multiplication, it becomes 3x equals 1 or 3x equals minus 2. So this turns to 3x minus 1 equals 0 or 3x plus 2 equals 0. Now we say 3x minus 1 multiplied by 3x plus 2 equals 0. So we then open the bracket. To say this, we have 9x squared, multiply this, plus 6x, negative 1 is used to multiply this. We have minus 3x minus 2 equals 0. interesting. So we now look at it. This is 9x squared is the only one with x squared, plus 6x minus 3x. That will be plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. Fantastic. So that is the equation that holds these quadratic roots. You enjoy it, right? Good.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
So for your comments, your questions, your suggestions, don't forget to send everything to us via our social media handle being displayed on your TV screen. Till we come your way next time, keep learning mathematics.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.